We're back for our daily NBA predictions here on Saturday, March 22nd. We've got 5 games today in the National Basketball Association, and obviously we're going to go over all 5 of them like we've been doing all year long with the NBA. The big games tonight, Bucks, Kings, I guess. Warriors, Hawks, LeBron James is back tonight. In all likeliness, LeBron makes his return tonight against the Chicago Bulls in Los Angeles. So that's the nightcap at 7:30, but obviously 5 games in total tonight, kicking things off with the Nets and the Pacers. Before we get into the predictions, folks, make sure to go check out our college basketball best bets. We're down to the round of 32 now in college basketball, so make sure to check out that video. That is linked in the description down below, along with our full March Madness bracket breakdown. Obviously, again, we are now down to the round of 32, but as of now, I still have my entire Elite 8 alive. So, just saying, go check that video out. Along with our UFC London predictions, if you're watching this NBA video when it's coming out, UFC London has just started, so make sure to go check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA. Subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA. Subscribe to this channel as well that you're watching this video on as we go on to the first of our 5 NBA predictions for today, starting things off in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, between the Pacers and the Nets. Full transparency, this is the game I probably feel the least confident in. I feel very confident the Pacers are winning this game. I think everyone should feel confident the Pacers beat the Nets here. I just don't know if they cover this line. Because Indiana, as of late, again, this is what good teams do, and I've always used this. I always go back to the Victor Oladipo Pacers, and this is what always made them so great, and this is what always propelled them to a 4, 3, or 5 seed every single year. Oladipo was the star there in this era, is because they always beat the bad teams. And that's what good teams do. That's why, again, the Thunder are so great. That's why, the Celtics have been at the top of the East for so long, is because they don't take games off. They beat the bad squads. And for Indiana this year, they've found ways to win competitive games. Again, their last 3 games, the Minnesota game by far the most impressive. But and I know they didn't cover in either of these games, but Dallas and Brooklyn, back-to-back nights on Wednesday and Thursday against teams that aren't very good. They found ways to win competitive games. They beat the Mavs by 4 points. They beat the Nets by 6 points in games that they were trailing deep into the fourth quarter in. Now, this team is much different when Tyrese Haliburton is not on the court. Tyrese has not played in this 3-game winning streak over Minnesota, Dallas, and Brooklyn. So obviously when Haliburton comes back, it is a game changer. I don't know if Tyrese is going to be back or not tonight. I'm kind of thinking no. I think Halliburton's probably going to be back on Monday night when Minnesota comes into town. I think though, just the grand scheme of things here, you're thinking for the Pacers, they're already a top 6 seed in the East. They have that pretty much clinched at this point. They're just playing for positioning. Potentially, if the Knicks keep losing, Indiana could find themselves at the 3 seed, but I'd likely expect them in 4. You don't need to rush Haliburton back. You just don't, right? You want Haliburton to be 100% in the playoffs this year, something that he ultimately wasn't last year, even when they made their deep run into the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to beat the Nets tonight without Haliburton if Tyrese doesn't play. Brooklyn, obviously, is a team that is, obviously full into the tank mode at this point. They know they have no future this year. Obviously, Cam Thomas out for the year. Cameron Johnson is playing tonight. D'Angelo Russell, though, out tonight with an ankle injury. Obviously, there was the scuffle in that first matchup between Brooklyn and Indiana with Watford and Miles Turner. They just both got fined for that, though, so obviously both of them are going to be playing today. I'd expect the Pacers to run right through the Nets. First game, again, an overtime game that was won by 6 by Indiana. Sure, again, no Haliburton still. Pascal Siakam actually played a very poor game against Brooklyn. He's had 5 points in that one. It was Benedict Mathurin leading the charge for Indiana with 28 and 16. I'd expect the Pacers to play a hell lot better of a game in this one. They're 9.5-point favorites. Again, probably the least confident pick I have for tonight in terms of the spreads. Again, no doubt in my mind Indiana wins this basketball game. 9.5 is a lot. Ultimately, sure, I'm still expecting the Pacers to cover, but I wouldn't play it personally. Indiana minus 9.5 is the play for our first game of the night. Next up, we go to Atlanta, Georgia for the Atlanta Hawks and the Golden State Warriors. I'm taking the Hawks. The Hawks are 2.5-point dogs at home. I think it's a great spot for them value-wise at plus 115. The Warriors have been really good, sure, but Steph Curry is not playing, obviously. Curry has a pelvis injury, obviously fell really hard in that game against the Raptors. I don't know when Steph is going to be back. He's going to have a confirming MRI, I believe, on Monday, so Steph is likely out, I'd say, through the Miami game. He's probably out for the road trip, if we're being honest. I don't think Steph's going to play until they return home on April 4th. There's no reason to push Curry back. Well, actually, they need to stay out the play-in. I don't know. No, they might rush Steph back. He's definitely not playing tonight, probably not on Tuesday either. Likely the soonest we see him is Friday night in New Orleans. So probably 2 games at the bare minimum for the Warriors without Steph Curry. The Hawks are dealing with their own injury. Clint Capella out for the rest of the regular season. Probably going to get him back in the play-in / the playoffs. But obviously, Onyeka Okongwu has been the starting center for the Hawks as of late. Trae Young always on the injury report, but tonight he is probable with an Achilles injury. Same can be said about Karis LeVert, probable with a knee injury. So both of the Hawks guards, and I know LeVert doesn't always start as Dyson Daniels, but again, 2 very key guards, and obviously Trae is their leader, are playing tonight for Atlanta. I think it's a spot the Hawks do win. Again, no Steph Curry changes the entire mindset of this Warriors team. Because immediately, again, Curry at his age is still by far their best scorer. He leads them in scoring pretty much every single night, even though recently has been Jimmy Butler coming on. I just don't think, again, you take away the presence of Steph Curry and it really affects this basketball team. Because, you take Curry out the starting lineup, but now they're starting Podziemski, Hield, Moody, Butler, Green. It doesn't really feel like that great of a squad. Steph Curry makes them great. And obviously, again, Draymond plays his role really, really well. Jimmy Butler has really improved this team, obviously, since the trade from Miami. But no Steph Curry, they're not the Warriors without Steph Curry. And I don't think they're able to play this quick style against Atlanta without Steph in the lineup. Because in order to keep up with the Hawks, you have to, again, for one, you can play really aggressive defense and shut them down. But it's really tough to do that, obviously, because of the scoring outburst that Atlanta is going to go on. At the same time, you just have to keep up and do that more effectively than Atlanta, especially in their own environment, at their own place. I don't think the Warriors are able to keep up with the offensive onslaught that the Hawks are going to bring to them in this game. The Warriors have been winning low-scoring affairs recently. The Knicks' victory, they didn't even score 100. They scored 104 against Milwaukee, sure, against Steph was out. But I don't know. I just don't think they're able to beat the Hawks without Steph Curry. This is a motivated Hawks team. They're trying to stay in 7th, obviously, in the Eastern Conference play-in. They're either going to be 7 or 8. They're going to get that double chance, obviously, to make the playoffs. With the Heat now on a 10-game losing streak, but they still have 5 games in the Raptors. My goodness. I'm taking the Hawks here. Again, we love Trae Young here on the channel. I love Dyson Daniels as well, who should win the Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if they're actually going to give it to him or not, but the Great Barrier Thief undoubtedly deserves it this season. Give me the Atlanta Hawks to beat the Golden State Warriors. I think they're just able to outpace them tonight, and again, outpace the Warriors all night long, and just keep scoring, keep shooting. No Steph, no victories. Let's go on to our third game of the night. We go to the Garden. MSG, the Knicks, take on the Washington Wizards. I'm actually going to take the Wizards plus 15.5. Okay? It does feel like a prime bounce back spot for the New York Knicks, and it 100% is. I just think Washington's able to stay kind of competitive in this game. And again, 15 points is a lot for a professional basketball team. It just is. Just is. And some of the games where the Wizards do get blown out, they don't have their veterans in, and they don't have Jordan Poole playing. Well, both Poole and Chris Middleton are going to play tonight. Alex Sarr, obviously, their rookie center from France, is playing tonight as well. Now, I know what you're thinking, second out of a back-to-back for Washington. It is. They just played yesterday against Orlando at home in D.C., so now they have to turn that around and play the Knicks tonight. Alex Sarr was impressive in the Magic loss, posting 19 and 10 in that game. But you just look at the way the Knicks have been playing, man. I'm not sold. We said it earlier, when they were able to win without Jalen Brunson in the Sacramento game and in that overtime victory with the Mikal Bridges game winner, obviously, in Portland, we were saying, all right, this team is managing without Jalen Brunson. Well, after those next 4 games where they've lost 3 of 4 to Golden State, San Antonio, and Charlotte, obviously they beat the Heat because the Heat suck. They haven't really been able to manage without Jalen Brunson. It's apparent they are missing their best player. And sure, again, Cat statistically has been better this season. They need another option offensively. And sure, again, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges can fill that void at times, but neither of those guys are the pure scoring threat that Jalen Brunson is. Now, again, Brunson will be back for the postseason. But up until then, it is hard to pick the Knicks, and on top of that, lay all these points on New York as well. I'm taking the plus 15.5 on the Wizards here. As long as the guys that we need to play, right? We need Jordan Poole to give it a go, who did play 27 minutes last night. We need Chris Middleton to play tonight, who played 23 minutes as well. I don't think Marcus Smart is playing, who's another veteran presence on this team. But as long as Middleton and Poole play, I think we should be okay in this spot. Because Poole is going to hit some shots. Obviously, Middleton hasn't been bad for Washington. It's just kind of weird as a whole that he's in this spot, obviously, because of the playoff contending Bucks teams he's been on in his career. But the way the Knicks are playing right now, I mean, they're just struggling and they're fighting to win one game. Do we think they can win by more than 15 points? I don't think so. Yes, ultimately, again, I think the Knicks win. Obviously, you look at the money line, they're minus 1,400 to win this game. The Wizards are coming back at plus 750. I just don't think the Knicks win by all that many points. I'm going to take Washington plus 15.5 in this spot to go into Madison Square Garden and just cover against the Knicks. We go into our fourth game. We go to Sacramento, California. The Kings try to light the beam tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think they're going to. I'm going to take the Bucks to win. The Bucks are just such a weird team to me. I don't know. They're 1-1 on the road trip. They beat the South Bay Lakers, obviously, a couple of days ago on Thursday, where I kid you not, Bronny James was the leading scorer for the Lakers. Shout out to Bronny, right? I mean, Bronny's going to be a very good player in this league for a very long time. But at the same time, I mean, rookie Bronny's leading the Lakers in scoring. Obviously, the Bucks win that game. 2 games prior, obviously, the Bucks lose at home to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then the game before the Lakers, they went to San Francisco and lost to the Warriors without Steph Curry. But I do think they're able to beat Sacramento. I don't think Sacramento's that good. Sacramento lost to the Bulls. Shout out to Chicago. The Bulls win games, man. We've been campaigning for the Bulls all year long. Chicago just beat them, obviously, on a second night of a back-to-back after losing in Phoenix. The Bulls go to Sacramento and win. Shout out to Kobe White with his 35 points. And Kevin Huerter again took it personally that he's back in Sacramento, obviously, since the trade. Anyways, again, if you're giving up that many points to the Bulls, I mean, I don't know. And again, the Bulls have been good. The Bulls have been really good. I think the Bulls, again, are going to get out the play-in. I think they're going to be the 8th seed, and I think they're going to probably play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. But I think the Bucks are going to give the Kings problems, especially the way that the Kings have been dealing with these injuries, obviously. And obviously, the only injury now is Domantas Sabonis, but still, that's an interior presence. We've seen it before, guys. Jonas Valanciunas is not a starting center in this league. He's just not. He can't compete down low with the physicality that Giannis is going to drive in with. Obviously, Brook Lopez, again, is not going to be that interior threat. At least offensively, right? Splash Mountain is going to stand on the perimeter the entire game and just chuck up threes and hit them in spots, right? But it's going to be all Giannis, obviously, scoring tonight with no Damian Lillard. So it does make the Bucks somewhat one-dimensional, but at the same time, I don't mind it. I think Giannis is going to score 40 tonight. I really think he's going to. Giannis hasn't had a crazy scoring night in a while. I don't know if he's dropped 40 all year long. He hasn't since November 30th, where he did on the road against the Washington Wizards. I think tonight's that night. No Dame in the lineup, and they're taking on a team here in Sacramento that has Jonas Valanciunas sitting in the paint. Yikes. And okay, Keegan Murray's going to be on him? I really like Giannis to dominate this tonight, guys. I just don't think Sacramento's going to have an answer. I really don't think so. I expect it to be high scoring. Obviously, the Kings, again, their offensive output with Malik Monk, with Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, obviously hitting those threes. DeRozan obviously can create for his own shot too. But I think the big problem tonight for Sacramento will be Jonas Valanciunas. Because, okay, the way the Kings play, right, or the way that the Bucks play, Giannis is going to be attacking. Obviously, we're assuming that he's going to have a guy like Keegan Murray on him. Well, if Lopez sitting on the outside, you're going to kind of force Jonas to play, in between. Oh, is he going to guard the three-point line? Is he going to stay in the paint? You kick it out to Lopez. He hits a couple of shots. It changes the whole, it just changes this entire game. And you can't put Valanciunas strictly on Giannis in a normal lineup, the Kings are going to put Sabonis on him because Sabonis is athletic enough to guard Giannis. I don't feel like it's a winning formula tonight for the Kings. I do think, again, yes, obviously you'd rather Dame be playing tonight, but I don't think it's the end of the world for Milwaukee without Lillard, just because, again, the dominance that Giannis can have tonight. And again, the Kings are coming off a loss to the Bulls, and I love the Bulls, but I'm taking Milwaukee to go into Sacramento and win. And now, unfortunately, we're gonna have to pick against the Bulls because LeBron Ramon James is back tonight, guys. I mean, we expect LeBron to be back. He's questionable. I saw LeBron's, pregame workout before the Bucks game. I think Bron's playing tonight. He's very close to coming back. Even if he doesn't play tonight, I still think the Lakers dominate the Bulls. I don't know about covering 10.5 though without LeBron. 10. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't play this until we know Bron's playing. Because 10.5 without LeBron, I think they'll probably do it because this team's pretty much back at full strength now. This team has got healthy at just the right time. Now, again, I think the Lakers are kind of managing their injuries very wisely, obviously, because they know they're going to make a deep playoff push this year. But I'll read off to you the entire Lakers injury report tonight. It's long. Luka, probable ankle injury. LeBron, questionable groin injury, obviously still. AR, probable ankle injury. Vando, probable groin. Rui Hachimura got upgraded to questionable with that knee injury. DFS, probable ankle injury. Gabe Vincent, questionable knee injury. But again, everyone's kind of getting healthy at the right time. If Braun does not play, I'd probably take Bulls plus 10.5. I keep telling you guys, Chicago's a sneaky good team. They score, and they score at will. And they're healthy now, too, because Josh Giddey's back, right? Giddey's still recovering from injury, but Giddey returned on this road trip in Phoenix. He did not play the Sacramento game, but Josh Giddey came off the bench in that Phoenix game. I'd expect him to be well back into the starting lineup now. Trey Jones is questionable to play, so we'll see, but I mean, hell, Giddey will just play the point, which he should honestly be doing. It just makes the Bulls dangerous, on paper. A team that starts, Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Kevin Huerter, Matas Buzelis, and Nikola Vucevic isn't really the most dangerous squad on paper, sure, but all these guys score. They really don't play defense, which is where the Lakers are probably going to exploit them tonight. But they can score at will, and they can shoot. Now, stylistically, though, with LeBron James in the lineup, I do think the Lakers just kind of take over this basketball game. And even without LeBron, I wouldn't feel horrible about it either. Just personally, I'd lay off the game entirely if LeBron doesn't play, just because I do feel like the Bulls can kind of stay competitive. But with LeBron in the lineup and the defensive presence that this entire team has, I do think it makes it very difficult on the Bulls to play their style, which is run quick, obviously take quick shots, and obviously just run the entire game. The way the Lakers have been playing defensively, it's just going to be tough for them. The defensive presence of guys like DFS, of Vando. I mean, they're going to put, Hachimura is going to be on Josh Giddey. Maybe they put Luka. They should put Hachimura on Giddey. We'll see, because Giddey's the biggest threat. Kobe White too, but I think, again, stylistically, this one does favor the Lakers a lot. The Bulls want to play quick. The Lakers have been very good defensively as of late, and maybe they do again. Do they double? I can't believe I'm saying this. Do they double Giddey and force Matas Buzelis to beat them on the outside? They might. Honestly, they might. I just think it's a tough spot for the Bulls, especially with LeBron coming back. The Lakers do play great defensive ball, and it's just going to be tough for the Bulls to play their game. So, Lakers spread, I get it's a lot, even considering the way that the Bulls have been playing, but the Lakers at full health are the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. Minus 10.5, we're taking Los Angeles to win and cover at home against the Chicago Bulls. So folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here for March 22nd. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.